Hey guys, what's going on? It's Stef here. I hope you've been well. I know I have, and it's time for another metal detecting relic hunting adventure. For this week's video, I decided to combine a few different hunts that took place over the summer where I didn't find a lot, but on each hunt, something incredible came out of the ground. In fact, in this video, I'm using two different machines, the Minelab Manticore, as always, and the new Minelab X-Terra Elite, which actually helped me find one of my biggest bucket listers that is also a white whale. You'll see what I'm talking about when we arrive to that point in the video. And another find in this video, arguably, belongs in a museum. It is such a stunning example of what it is, and you would be hard-pressed to find one of these coming out of the ground in this condition. So I'm really excited for today's video. I hope you are too. And before I give out any spoilers by mistake, let's hop in. Well, I have a very good target. I kind of want to show you where I am a little bit. Just down there, this is actually a hill that goes down. There's a cellar hole that supposedly dates to the 1600s. And today, I'm out with the new X-Terra Elite. I just tripped across a good signal. Now, I know people have hunted in this area in the past extensively, so couldn't really find anything on the cellar hole lip when I did a quick breeze around, but I did just get this signal. It was jumping up into the 70s at some angles, so let's see what it is. Okay, well, it's nothing crazy exciting, but those numbers certainly made sense for what's down in the hole. We have a musket ball. And what's interesting is there's a very little patina, almost like it was sitting in water. That's a big one. Actually, you know, it's been so long since I've gone metal detecting that I'm not sure what size that is. Maybe a 58, it could be a 69 though, to be honest with you. It's a big one. But yeah, that's how we start, and that's a very good start in my book. On to the next. Phew, this was a deep one. It was a high 20s signal, which is, you know, could be a tom back button or something like that. It was so deep, it was easily 8 to 10 inches. I just rolled it out. Haven't even thumb punched it yet because I want to reveal it with you. Looks like it's going to be a nice pewter button. I think. Might be the back, I don't know. Huh. Can't quite tell. Let me give it a brush down and I will come right back. Okay, so it is definitely a button. You can see the shank post right there. And it looks a little convex. But I mean, if there was something on here, it's long gone. This is probably darn close to 300 years old. Probably early to mid 1700s if I had to guess. And again, it was very deep. It was at the very bottom of that hole. So far, I've been pretty impressed with the Elite. It's very, very stable and it's very, very deep. So can't go wrong there. It's kind of like everything that you need in an Equinox without the bells and whistles. That's kind of how I look at the Elite. Everything you need in an Equinox without the bells and whistles. So in any case, it's doing the trick and we'll keep moving. Okay, I'm really excited right now. I just got a bucket lister, but I can't see what it is exactly. You'll know what I mean in a second. Anyway, it rang up about a 23-24 on the X-Terra Elite, and not too deep. I've been digging so many 22 bullets, casings, and 12-gauge shotgun shells that I didn't film this one, and I wish I had. Right down there, I picked it up briefly. I finally have complete colonial cufflinks. There's still a lot of gilding on the back, it looks like. Whoa. Oh my god, these are going to be beautiful. I can't see what the image is yet, and I don't want to scratch this off too much. Oh boy. These could be something really, really special. I mean, even if they're not quote-unquote special and they're just civilian with a flower motif or something, I will still be so excited because I've never found ones intact like that. Oh man, that makes my day. Makes my day. All right, let me clean these up just a bit and I will be back in a minute. I am so stoked with that find. Well, there they are. How beautiful is that set of cufflinks? Looks like we have a flower design of some kind. Appears to be the same on both sides, or both pieces rather. And then just the back too is also just covered in gilding. These are going to be absolutely beautiful when I put them in a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to pack these away very safely. I don't want to do any more than I've already done to them, which was just to spray them off. But wow, what a first. I mean, I can't believe in 7 years of metal detecting colonial sites, this is my first set of linked buttons. I mean, usually I'll find just a one-off cufflink and that's that, but this is really cool because, I mean, this would have been worn on somebody's shirt every day. And this was also considered jewelry. So what a beautiful piece of jewelry at that. And given the size of these are rather large. I would say very late 1700s until maybe about 1820, 1830. Somewhere in that arena, just because the size is just so large. But wow, I am tickled to death with that find. And again, I'm going to pack it away safely, and we're going to keep moving. Well, here we are in the middle of the woods today. Sorry if you see any floaters in front of the screen, but those are all mosquitoes. In fact, I'm in long sleeves today, which I need to pull down because I keep getting bit. But I found this old cellar hole. I do not see any recent dig holes. I don't see iron on the surface. So I am hoping that nobody has been here or they haven't been here in a very long time. Got the Manticore today with the M9 coil, so fingers crossed this turns out to be a good site. Well, there's the well, all filled in. Whether it was purposeful or just those rocks caved in over time, I'm not sure. And the cellar is right there in the center of the frame. And here's a signal. Interesting trace. Either a large item or something on edge. We shall see. I think I'm gonna like what this is. I got a peek at it. I think I know what it is, and it's really awesome and my first, if it is what I think it is. So I had to pull out that big rock. It was covering half of where I thought my signal might be, but it was actually over there. And I have a sizable piece of brass that looks like a shotgun shell of some description, but that's flat on the end. I know exactly what this is. This is actually a ramrod tip. This probably would have been on an 18th century gun, I'm assuming. It looks like a brown bess one that Nick had actually found at one point. So I will put some examples up on the screen for you right now, just to show you that I am not crazy. And yeah, it just clearly broke right there. But that is an awesome relic. Let me clean it up just a little bit and I'll come back. Well, there it is, cleaned up to the best of my ability right now. I'm not in a very good patch of sun. I'm not in a good patch of sun. Let's get in a better patch of sun. There we go. Sort of. Anyway, okay, so, like I said, it's got that flat tip to it. But this is throwing me off a little bit. It actually curves down on either side right here. And that's where that break is. I think still that this is a ramrod tip for a musket. I am still 99% sure that's what it is. I just don't remember when Nicola found hers that it had this type of a shape on it here. But could be for a different type of gun. And right there where you see that it's rusty, it looks like there was a pinhole there to attach to wood. So again, still 99% sure what that is. And if that's the case, it's 100% awesome. Let's keep going. Took some work to actually be able to swing my coil in this little area, but I heard a chirp, and it looks like I have a decent target. We'll take a look together. Let's hope it's anything but a shotgun shell or anything modern. Well, that signal is a relic, and I'm so far away from the hole because I had a little yellow jacket buzzing around my head that time of the year. Anyway, let's risk it. Go back together. At least if I get stung, it'll be absolutely hilarious for everybody. It's right here. Right here. What have we got? Yep, it is a button. And I thought this was going to be tomback, but I think it's actually brass. I'm not sure. Let me clean it up. I'll get back to you. So, I sprayed it off hoping that it would shine up, but this one is heavily corroded. It definitely is a tomback button. You can tell by the shank, the way it's constructed there, that would have had a brass shank that is no longer intact. But you can tell by like that hump in the center there that that's what it is. It's a thick one too, so that's probably why it rang up so high. And I know that something in the 30s doesn't seem high, but for tomback it kind of is. So, hey, 1700s all day. I will gladly take it. Got a really good signal right here in this game trail. Could easily be a bullet, but we have to check. It's a good alloy, whatever it is, so let's dig it up. Yay, a desirable target. There's been so much ammunition out here. It's about time we find some old ammunition. Little musket ball. Looks like it was definitely fired. There's like a dimple right there where it hit something really hard. Probably missed its target though. Probably just hit one of these rocks in the hole. So that's cool. It's a keeper. And we'll keep moving. I have a really incredible signal here. Cellular hole is just up there. I'm not too far from it. It kind of startled me because it's been so quiet today. Take a look. Where'd we go? Trying to get you out of the glare, but that could be something pretty darn good. It sounds pretty large. I don't think it's a coin, but hey, I'll take a shoe buckle. Unfortunately, it is not nearly as awesome as I expected it to be, but it's a good relic, and it is pretty. It has a nice patina to it. We'll see if that stays on there. But I have an ox knob down here, and what a pain in the butt, what am I trying to say? Recovery. Deep under that root. And there we have it. That's a beautiful one. It actually really is a beautiful one. And this is almost certainly 18th century. When you see those ones that look like lug nuts and have, an octagonal top, they can be as late as like the early 1900s. This one is quite old though. So you know what I'll do? Since it's a slow day, I'm gonna brush this off and come back because there's some beautiful patina that is just not showing up when I'm in the shade. I guess I lied. It doesn't really have all that much patina left, but it is in beautiful condition. I really like that design. Usually they're fairly plain, but that one does have a nice little design on it. And I don't know if I just explained this or not. I don't think I did. But in case you don't know, these used to be screwed onto the end of oxen horns so that they didn't puncture things or people while they were working. And the oxen built or helped to build all of these stone walls in New England because they were a lot more compliant than horses, a lot slower, and almost certainly stronger. So that's why we find a lot of these in New England. They help build the walls. So very cool. We will keep moving. Well, I've been on a roll with these lately, and by on a roll, I mean I don't find these very often at all. Not filming today. Here's Petrie the dog and Nick the human, and we're at a spot we've been to a lot, but not in the last few years. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't planning on filming today, I guess I should say. but I think I need to make an exception. This was a high 80s signal, and it came out right there. It's already drying out in my hand. And let me see if I can orient this correctly. But it's definitely an eagle button. I don't know what era this is going to be yet because it's really caked up. I'm going to have to clean that up when I get home very carefully. But it is fully intact, and the back mark will also help me get a date range on this, so that's really exciting. I will let that dry out for a little bit, see if I can make it look any better, and we'll come back. That's an awesome find. Well, I sure wish the sun was out today to help me, but there you have it for now. I put a little bit of body oil on it to bring up the highlights, and it looks like we have an infantry button. It looks like there's an eye in the center of the crest on the eagle right there. I know you really have to use your imagination quite a bit, but hopefully I can get this looking a little bit better at home. The back mark, I can't read it yet, but that should be highly visible. I think this was face up in the ground, and that's why the back is in better condition than the front. So really, really exciting though either way, and hopefully this cleans up somewhat decent, but really happy about that. I don't think this is Civil War. I've been wrong before a few times, but that center crest is very narrow, so I think this might be earlier, but again, I don't really know. Something will certainly be on the screen by now, but yeah, that's a fantastic find. I'm really happy with that. Well, little did I know how happy I would be with this button when I took it home and cleaned it up. You truly will not believe the condition it's in now, and it makes it one of my very best finds of 2024. Check this out. It is absolutely stunning now. All of the details are there, and around 90% of the silver wash remains intact. To clean this, I used lemon juice, a toothbrush, and very nervously, a toothpick to work off what I believe was actually pine sap on the face of this button. Now, if you're not a button aficionado, you probably have no idea how old this is, so let me clue you in. This piece dates to before the Civil War, approximately 1840s. So it's almost 200 years old in absolutely stunning condition. I can't stress how surprised I was that it cleaned up so well. It is one of the finest excavated examples I've ever seen, and this is the piece that truly belongs in a museum. It just doesn't get any better for having a find that you're not as excited about in the field because you think it's not going to clean up and you're expecting nothing, to go home and find out it's one of your best finds of the year. It's absolutely priceless. Now, let's get back to the action because you know I have to find a coin. I'm going to try not to get too excited about this signal because I am right next to a walking path that is frequented, but there's a cellar right there. Take a look at the signal together. Sorry, it's a little blurry, hang on. As if you need to see me swing that many times. Anyway, has potential. We'll see. I'm very glad I filmed that signal. So way down there, I'd say 8 or 9 inches. And there we go. I haven't even touched it yet. It's definitely a copper coin though. No doubt about that. Oh, it feels so good. We should get some kind of ID on this, I would imagine. Even though it's pretty rough right now. I don't want to rub it too much. Let's see. Anything coming through? Huh. I honestly do not know. I'll probably look back at this footage and say, look, you dummy, it's a blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I'm going to let this dry off for a bit and just relish in this. It's actually been quite a while since I've dug a copper, and I cannot believe it was so close to this walking path and so close to the cellar, because if you don't hunt cellar holes in New England, by the way, they're usually heavily hunted before you get there. So in any case, I'm really excited to see what this is. Hopefully we can ID it in the field. I'll be back shortly. It's awesome. So hopefully the camera picks this up all right. You can kind of make out what looks like Britannia there. There's a date underneath her, but I can't make it out. Fortunately, I could tell because her arm was outstretched and she looked a little different than on KG2, KG3, KG1 half pennies. I knew that this was probably a state copper. And it is. Obviously, I did get it wet, but that's because the relief is really, really good on this coin. I'm probably just going to take it down to what it used to look like. I'm not going to make it shiny, but when I have a coin that has super duper uneven patina like this, it's either better to rub the green off of the raised areas so you can actually see it, or just bring it back to what it used to look like. And I may very well do that because this, it might not look like it, has really good details. So I would say Octori, and then Connect or Connect over here, depending on the variety. It's a Connecticut copper from 1785 to 1788. Before we had a federal mint, we made our own coinage in the colonies, and this was one that was struck right here in Connecticut. Absolutely awesome find. That is definitely one of my better Connecticut coppers. And it's awesome. Like I said, it's been a while since I've dug a copper, so very, very awesome. We'll keep swinging. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed reliving those hunts and a few of my favorite finds of 2024. Now, if you have made it this far and you haven't already done so, please go ahead and consider subscribing and clicking on that notification bell so that you don't miss an upload from me in the future. It means so much to me when you subscribe because it helps this channel thrive, grow, and of course it encourages me to keep making videos for you. Lastly, as an ever-present reminder, I do sell metal detecting equipment, so reach out to me via email or on Facebook. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys, and we will see you next week.